What's gooey, Yap Nation? Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. I am your favorite host, Kelbin.
And I am your favorite host, Oski. How y'all doing, Yap Nation?
We're coming right off of Memorial Day weekend.
Rainy day weekend.
And I never have understood the hype of Memorial Day. Because it's always raining, so I've never understood or maybe paid attention it's not a holiday to go to the beach. I don't know. And obviously you can't predict the weather in every single city, but I've lived in 3 different cities. I've celebrated about 32 Memorial Days. And
about to be 33.
And not the point of this conversation. What I'm saying is that it's just rainy every time. So why do we hype it up as this holiday of like barbecues and
I'd say it's a 50-50 for me.
Okay.
There have been sunny Memorial Days, there have been rainy ones.
Name them.
1997 was a sunny one. 98, so we thought it was going to rain. I think it was partly cloudy. It might have been... I was about to say it's a Tuesday, but Memorial Day is always on a Monday.
Well, aside from that, we have an episode where we have to catch you guys up on so many things that have happened.
A little gossip sesh.
It kind of is. It's a gossip sesh. It's like what's going on in like our lives. Mostly mine because I'm the main character. But aside from that, we we have some really fun stories that we have gone through. So no real theme today. We're just kind of vibing.
Yeah, get comfy. Grab your favorite snack. Maybe... light something with a lighter.
Like what?
Something that brings you joy.
Like?
You pick it, because, the kids got cigarettes again.
I know! That's crazy. Why are cigarettes coming back to...
I don't know.
Ugh. Like you smell horrible.
I know. Listen, I'm not here to judge. Kelbin is, clearly.
Oh, well, absolutely.
I just noticed that the kids are lighting up cigarettes again these days.
It's bad for your teeth.
Well, yes. We went from, cigarettes
Vapes.
to... I think weed and then vapes.
Uh-huh.
And then weed kind of stayed good for a while.
Well, yes.
And then vapes are starting to kind of go back out because I don't know all the science behind it, but some people say it's worse because the chemicals that they add into the pens.
Right, yeah.
And then I noticed cigarettes are back.
Listen, I'm going to miss the clouds of strawberry cheesecake in the air.
Right.
I actually appreciate it. And sometimes when I'm bored, maybe I've had a few cocktails and I have a friend who has a 30 battery pack of a vape. I was like, let me get a little swig.
Yeah, I love them pulling out a Blitzy Blueberry.
Yes. Does it have games on it? Because they light up now. But not anymore. Now they're just tossing them to the side. I see them on my walks all the time.
The cigarette industry is happy because they've made it cool again.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They do look cool in photos.
Oh, man.
Like, they do look cool.
What I was trying to say was grab whatever. And if you don't want to light up anything, let a candle. Maybe it smells nice. Get cozy because this is a little gossip sesh. And we're just catching up in our lives.
Yeah. And the first thing that I do want to get out of the way is no bandage, baby. Look at that. If you're watching us on YouTube, which you should be subscribed. Zoom in, baby, because it is a...
Wait, not too much.
Not too much. It's still recovering. But I am so grateful to have a chin again. I have this new job, right?
Well, back to one chin. You had 2. Well, 2 chins if you had 3 and then that one. But it's okay. We're back to 2.
I'm going to let you have that one. I'm not even going to clap back because when I clap back, I get mean. And I'm not going to do that because I'm on camera. So...
Let me. Go ahead.
From my 7 chins, I have 1 back. And it looks fabulous. And I'm excited. What I was going to say was that my job, it entails me doing a test shoot at the photo studio.
Yes.
And I have, my first week, I had the bandage. It was, looking really bad under the band. It was just really bad. And now I don't have to do that anymore.
What a moment to commemorate. We'll always remember the band-aid.
Yeah, and it's on my license, too. Which I don't know if we talked about that, but we got our Georgia licenses finally.
We were finally residents of the state of Georgia.
And the Band-Aid is in the photo.
Well, it kind of explains this time that you were going through. It's kind of an outer representation of your inner turmoil, if I would say.
Absolutely. The other thing that I do want to talk about is all my shows are ending. I don't know if we have a few together. I watched Euphoria. That's ending next week. You don't care about Euphoria.
Nope.
The first 2 seasons were good. Hacks is ending, and that is our cozy comfort show.
Last week's episode was
fantastic. This season has been incredible. If you have not watched Hacks, please do so because it is clever writing. It's good writing. It doesn't have to be so cerebral. It's just like a
Yes.
good,
Well, it's
good
quick.
cast.
It's like quick. It's the kind of humor that you're laughing about after.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just like, you can't fathom how hilarious it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just laughing about it. You know how many times that we sit there and go, wait, go back, replay that
Yes.
scene? Because it was so, there's not a bad character. Like, usually in a really funny show like this, some of the side characters aren't really that interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they're there to kind of, like, maybe level set, but, like, all the side characters, her agent, the assistants, oh, man, the Jewish assistant. Oh,
I love
man.
her. I love her.
So funny, just comedic timing, beautiful. I'm very sad that show's ended.
Absolutely. And then The Boys ended, which I feel like I just brought you in. That was around the time where I got my surgery, I think, or maybe I had COVID. We both had COVID. I can't remember, but I brought you into it, and I was like, watch this show with me. And then you just got hooked.
Yeah.
That one's over.
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, I'm okay too. I'm okay too.
I just don't know how much further, like, the horrible things that happened on that show and the gory things that happened on that show.
That are also so parallel to the American government.
We can't begin to.
I'm good.
It's just very sad. But the show itself was good. It was just a lot. So, like, I don't know how much more they could have, like, taken it to outer space. I don't know.
I'm good. I'm good. But we also have some comments that we also got throughout the weekend. And we got our first hater comment from someone very near and dear and close to us. And, you know, we have had critique before from our podcast on certain things that we should change or maybe add in. But this was actually a hate comment. And I just want to give a shout out to this person. You let me know if you want me to say their name. But I'm going to read their comment. And you, Yap Nation, I want you to decide if maybe they have a point or maybe they're right. And then maybe we'll take it into consideration. Mm-hmm. So we have this listener that is absolutely lovely. She posts us on her story every single time we have an episode. You know what kind of support that is? That's love. So shout out to you, Jackie. I reposted her and I wrote, shout out to this Yap Elite. A Yap Elite, if you don't know, is like somebody who is an A1 since day one.
Yeah.
Okay? So this hater wrote, I hate the names you call listeners sometimes. Just keep it at Yappers, you weird ass. I wrote back, no.
I don't know if I would consider it haters because this person, it's very much in their vernacular to speak to us.
Absolutely.
And I think the craziest thing is that they're criticizing in another time zone. You're 3 hours behind me, baby girl. Catch up.
Oh.
Because don't come for me. And you know we're friends and we have a ceasefire.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of ceasefires, you know, hopefully everyone else, the world follows. But
okay.
Me and this person do have a ceasefire because we know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you guys will get nasty.
Oh, nuclear.
Yeah, nasty with each other. I wish he would do that with me, but he knows he's got me pretty good. I can't hit him back.
Everybody's got you.
I know. Yeah, everybody does. I'm a pretty easy target. But he did follow it up and he said, LOL, I just can't keep track of the different Yap versions you guys come up with. And I was like, what are you talking about? We call people, you know, our listeners Yappers, Yap Nation. That's pretty much it. And he goes, Japanese. And then he suggested one for himself. A YAGGOT. And you know what?
Right.
Shout out to you, girl. You're our YAGGOT.
Our one and
only. One and only YAGGOT. So shout out to you. And I think we're going to leave it at that.
You want to say their name so bad.
I want to. But no, I won't do that. I do want to get through some of these.
Watch this person be mad because we didn't say their name.
Oh, you know what? That would actually make sense.
They want people to come knocking on their door for a fight.
Oh, my mind sometimes. Actually, I'm going to do that. I was going to say their name, but now I'm not going to.
Yeah, they like the attention.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, YAGGOT. Next.
Yeah, next, we do want to go through some of the comments and reviews that we have gotten from Spotify and Apple Music, which, once again, it helps us out, guys, if you rate us.
Thank you.
5 stars, write your comments. I want to give a shout out to Amber because she commented on Spotify and she's catching up on old ass episodes.
We've only been on a year. Old.
I mean, yeah, old. It's like months ago. This was an episode called God Was Never the Problem, Religion Was. And we were just talking about our viewpoint of how we felt about God and religion and all these things. And she writes, Amber, she writes, "Thank you, Kelvin, for sharing what we were all thinking about, the creepy crucifix. You can literally pick any other imagery of him dying for our sins, like we can do the tomb or maybe his final words. I just feel like it's so dark and disturbing. The subject people into that image or that into that imagery. You had me dying when you're like, someone even painted the blood." Like, that's just so wild to me. Thank you, Amber. I do agree. But I also feel like if that's what you want in your house, then this is a free country, baby. Like, that's, have at it. If you like it, I love it.
I remember this conversation, and I forgot to tell my mom, so I got to bring it up next time.
Do not.
I got to bring it up next time, right when she's about to pray.
That was before.
You know, funny enough, speaking of Lord Jesus Christ, Kelbin has a funny take.
You know what? Actually,
my angel of a mother.
I actually do want to bring it up to her. I mean, she'll probably justify and be like, "Look, that's the image, and that's just what it is, and that's what it represents, and there's like meaning to it." But I do want to tell her, like, "Hey, it makes it. I don't like it. I don't like it." Actually, I'm comfortable having that conversation with your mother.
But Gaga and Amitros doesn't bother you.
No, actually,
her bleeding on a VMS stage.
No,
hanging. That's fine. That's fine.
Damn, you chewed me up on that one.
Right.
Shout out to Shannon as well.
I know she's your religion, so here we go.
Shannon as well commented. She said, "Congratulations on the job. Thank you." And then I will go through 2 comments just because I don't want to.
So many.
We do actually. We have more than 2.
Guys,
but we do have.
No, don't stop. But stop.
Don't stop. We have a brand new one from Hey It's Jules, and she said, #obsess. "It is amazing to feel like I know my favorite host and his favorite host, even though we've never met. This show has everything: humor, sadness, deep thoughts, unique perspectives, and occasional chaos. With Kelvin and Oscar, you get authenticity, honesty, laughter, and vulnerability. I am a middle-aged white woman," shout out to you, "and I am a proud member of Yap Nation. Keep up the great work." Jules, thank you. If I'm thinking who this is on Instagram, absolutely adore you, and I love you. I always feel very seen by you.
Thanks, Queen.
Absolutely. We have another one from Aki. I'm not sure who. I'm sorry to this man or woman. But the subject says, "Hilarious couple. I love their podcast. Oscar is so smart, and I'm always interested in listening to his experiences and advice. Thank you, Oscar, for that. Kelvin is so freaking funny. I enjoy listening to him too talk and anything in general. I miss him from the Miguel and Holly show, so I'm very happy to know y'all have this podcast now. Guys, follow them. They are amazing people. Keep up the great work, guys." Thank you. That's so sweet. They said, "I'm funny and you're smart as hell."
I said, "Wow, Oscar's so smart and Kelvin's funny."
Kelvin's just funny. But listen, people love funny.
Yeah.
People love funny. Bitch.
I'll give you. You were 2 of the stars. I'll take 3. You're 2 of the stars.
You're such a bitch. All right, let's head into our gay agenda. I think I've said this before. I think we need to start complimenting people. I'm pretty sure I've said this on the podcast, but we need to start, like, when you go to a grocery store and you see somebody wearing something really cute, or they're just very attractive, or anything, you like the sound of their voice, say it to people. And sometimes it's not always going to be reciprocated, or it's not always going to be received well, right? But that's not the point. The point is to just make someone feel good, make their day. When I was leaving Costco, like a few days ago, I was wearing a Selena shirt. And this woman who is checking my receipts, which normally, I don't like that part of Costco because it's like, bitch, I scan my own things. Why are you checking my work? But I digress. And
I think we all know why they're checking your work. Smart, funny.
Costco people doesn't know.
They said, "Oh, look at that funny guy from that podcast. Check his receipt."
Costco does not know our dynamic. So I was leaving, and this woman, I'm assuming she was Hispanic, she goes, "You're way too young to know about Selena." And you could see, like, the clouds coming apart. The sun was shining on me. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I was actually born and raised with Selena. And she goes, oh, no, you weren't. You're too young.
You know my favorite part of that story? It's got Costco hires visually impaired people.
She was older. That
is just so sweet that they too deserve jobs and they do work hard. So it's so nice that, good for you.
You're on one today, bitch. You're on one today.
Thanks for spilling this.
No, you're on one today. First the chins and now this. All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
The moment was ruined because I had an old man behind me saying, "Excuse me." And I turned around and I was like, I was like, you know, I'm not going to fight with an old man today. So I left and I told the woman, thank you. But that was my interaction. So, Yap Nation, if you take anything from this, compliment people. It made my day.
Well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You should always compliment people. It's always the sweetest thing you can do. Makes me feel really nice if someone says something. Usually it's around on my ring, which is really nice.
You're welcome.
Let's say thank you. But usually it's around my ring. That always makes me feel good because obviously it is, Kelbin putting a lot of effort into getting the ring and making the ring. And so when someone compliments it, makes me feel like, because it reminds me of you, reminds me of my marriage. So
clock that.
It's very happy.
Mm-hmm. What's on your gay agenda, my king?
Ooh, what is on my gay agenda? Sorry, guys, I kind of forgot. Ah, yes. Men are sensitive.
Okay. I'm very interested in this.
Straight men are very sensitive.
Okay.
I just find it really ironic that, the typical straight, like terrible homophobic straight man says, gay men are too sensitive. Men these days are too sensitive.
Snowflakes.
Right? Yeah, that's what it is. Is that we're all too sensitive, we're all too PC, and blah, blah, blah. Mind you, when I have to go do projects for work, I have to go to construction sites.
Mm-hmm.
So I deal with a lot of these hetero men that I'm sure 1 or 20 of them have used a slur of some sorts. Pick one and they've probably used it.
Not the slur.
Not while we're on a college campus, but it's just I've spoken to enough of them where I'm sure something was running through their head as I walked by.
A YAGGOT?
Swish. Yeah, there's a YAGGOT.
A YAGGOT.
What is it? They got a little sugar in that tank.
Yeah.
That's what they said about me as I walked out.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened basically was that there was a team hired for painting at another school than where I was, called the general contractor who was at the moment at my project, that the head boss who was at the other project with that team was being too mean.
Ooh, okay.
And like, but like the person, because I overheard the conversation, because the general contractor, he put the phone on speaker because he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Mm-hmm. Mind you, that team has nothing to do with me, because we hire them to do the projects and the remodels. So technically they don't work for us. They're just contracted by us.
Right. So
he's not I'm not part of their leadership structure by any means. But we have we worked on a couple of projects that he's just like, listen to this. So the phone's on speaker. This guy is just like whining like he's in middle school about the big head boss, like rushing them and being mean, and like the things they said weren't even like, it was like, do your job faster. Like right. That was the mean thing he said. Mm-hmm. And the way I don't understand how people who are supposed to be leaders in that have no interpersonal skills to manage that. Mm-hmm. Where like the general contractor's like, why are you calling me if he's like 20 feet away from you and I'm in another state? And the guy's like, well, you're technically and the general contractor's like, okay. And
they want somebody else to have the conversation, the hard conversation.
Which, if you're in a point of leadership, why?
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you're just going to complain on behalf of your team but not actually say anything when you should, why? But this guy was like, the way the call happened, it was so like juvenile, and I'm like, and the person, mind you, was older than the person he was calling. So the person from that team on the other project was like in his 50s, calling someone in their 40s about someone being mean that's in their 60s.
Girl.
And I was like, you know what? And we were laughing about it because it's so funny. Because ultimately what was going to happen was that they knew they were going to be fired. Mm-hmm. And they just wanted something to complain about.
Right.
And they were being sensitive. And I was
they want it on the record.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't. Like, what are we doing? We're called sensitive, right? The world's too sensitive in PC, but you can't handle some basic workplace interpersonary skills? Come on.
Right. No, 100%. It's, if we're really going to dive deep into it, it's really like a hierarchy of power. Like, men have always been seen as the number one, the alphas, all this. But, like, everybody goes through these issues. Everybody feels a type of way. Everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants kindness. But because the man up top, that doesn't really get highlighted as much. Yeah. They're not seen as that. So it's rare that ever gets highlighted, or that's the connotation about men, straight men especially.
Yeah, but I also knew that person was being sensitive because I knew the higher up boss. Mm-hmm. They're tough, but they're not disrespectful. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, this man is just he's doing a bad job and he's being sensitive about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his bad. And I know that men like that say gross things to women, say terrible things about people of color, say terrible things about the queer community.
You hate men.
There's this particular type. Because the thing is, when I say I hate men, the men who are not the problem, no, I'm not talking about them.
For sure, yeah.
Which is
we're not generalizing. We're talking about shitty men.
Yeah, that's why the worst clapback that people do is like, well, not all men.
Mm-hmm.
There are some good ones. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Right.
Those are not the ones that I'm concerned about.
Correct.
Those are not the ones that are gonna tell me when I say all men are shit. They're not correcting me.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually like, yeah, we are for the most part. Because it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I say that when women are talking about men, and I have to say sorry on behalf of the horrible men that I have nothing to do with, because they're mostly straight men.
Right.
And it's just that. It's like, I know that a man like that says those terrible things and then is being that sensitive is embarrassing to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't be an ass and be sensitive. You got to pick a lane.
Right. No, 100%. I agree with you.
So, yes, that's my gay agenda. Lock it up. Get it together.
Straight men. Toxic straight men.
Well, I mean,
everybody.
Anyone, really.
Everybody.
Y'all gotta kind of get it together, y'all. It's tough out here.
Well, speaking of straight men, we did get a visit this weekend.
Wait, was that I smell it, a segue?
A segue. I was going to say a transition. But yes, we had a straight man friend visit us this weekend. That sounds a little sexual. No, this was a friend from college that we have known for years.
Not the problem. He knows exactly who the problem is.
He knows his place.
And he agrees when we say men are terrible.
And so he's visited us a couple of times and absolutely adore him. Love him. We are so different, but it just works because we're two just goofy, annoying, really funny people.
And his beautiful, gorgeous wife.
Oh, absolutely. She's stunning.
Always been beautiful and gorgeous and looks like...
Stunning.
I'd have to say, every time I see her, I want to put her as the main character of like some sci-fi elf book.
She needs to play...
A beautiful elfin princess.
Like,
Queen.
Who's the girl? Zelda? No, it's, who's the girl of that Zelda world?
You think I know?
Girl.
I just learned with this person, we actually talked about Zelda.
Uh-huh.
And he said the name of the princess.
Damn it.
And I don't know the name.
Damn it.
Link is a boy.
No, Link is a boy too.
No, Zelda is
the
girl?
Okay,
yes.
then I feel like
because he corrected me and I was like, oh, I didn't know.
I feel like she would play her.
Yes.
Anyways, love her. And yeah, so he came to visit us without the wifey, and I made it a point that like every time I hang out with my straight guy friends, like, let's watch some Drag Race. I just want to convert them into fans, and honestly, it hasn't really worked. but
they do enjoy it.
They do.
They do enjoy it.
They do. And I think they pick up on a lot of things. They laugh at some of the humor, especially if it's a good episode. And if you're watching All Stars 11, this is super, niche into gay culture. But, like, if you're watching Drag Race All Stars 11, the new bracket just came out, which means basically 6 new girls are competing now for 3 episodes. And this last bracket was really not that interesting. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Because
right.
I laughed more this first episode of this second bracket than I did the 3 episodes of the first
episodes. So bad.
Like, it wasn't until the end that I was like, ooh, it's kind of gaggy.
Right.
Of the first bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, this one, like, I know we're veering off for a second,
mm-hmm.
but this, like, no notes. This whole episode was... The confessionals were hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The outfits were amazing. The drama that wasn't drama was fun.
All queens of color.
All queens of color.
Mm-hmm.
The Alliancianas. Like, 5 seconds in, they're all like, I got you got me, right? I don't know how that's going to work if you got everybody.
There's 3 Latinas on this bracket, and one of the girls, Selena S. Titties is her name,
Queen.
And she was like, why don't we call our alliance the Tres Leches?
And it's just, yeah.
And
that feels right.
They're all elevated. They're all great. Anyway, long story short, we got to watch the episode.
You and Jessica.
She would love that. My cousin Jessica. So anyway, aside from that, we got to watch the episode, and like I said, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes when I'm showing like my straight friends these episodes, because I'm like, you can't promise a good episode, and then when you've like wasted an hour of their life, they're like, all right.
Yeah, you can't guarantee they're gonna care.
Correct.
Because it's also like that person showing us. I couldn't even know what they watch. Because it's
What's
not
a
even
straight
sports.
show?
It's not even sports. It's like something nerdy.
I was trying to think.
Love him down.
What's that show? The thrift show where the guys come in and you got to sell your stuff. What's it called? I don't even know a straight show. Damn it.
Something. It's like him showing us insert nerdy straight show.
Gator Country.
Sure.
And yeah, so thankfully, the point of this story, I'm trying to land the plane, is that it was a good episode, and he got to enjoy it too. One of the comments that he said that really stuck with me, which is really funny, was that one of the girls, that her name is April Carrion, she hasn't competed in 13 years, but when she competed, she was like 22. She came back, she's 35. She still looks really, really good. Plus, she's Latina, so you know how those genes go. She looks woman. Like, in drag, that is a woman.
Yes, with a
Stunning.
beautiful body.
Beautiful body. Puerto Rican, like, stunning. And she was stunning back then, but she's even more stunning now. And I think one of the things he said was like, whoa, that's a pretty lady.
That's the lady there.
That's a lady.
And sometimes that's what happens in drag. Is like, you can tell, like, obviously a lot of drag is like, the whole point of drag, it's a hyper feminization to celebrate the female experience. But it's also, there are times where, like, yes, they're hyper feminine, but they're doing it in such a clean, sleek way that, like, it looks like a woman.
Yeah.
Like a toes down, you would never clock the fact that that is a man in a wig.
Yes. Right.
And April Carrion is one of those.
Yes.
That it is always just, it's just a woman. There's no other way to describe it. And so, like, I always find it funny when a straight guy is comfortable enough with his sexuality to be like, okay, I mean, I would have never guessed.
Yes, I love that.
But he said another funny thing, which was, so the theme of the runway this episode was called, what was it?
You butter
at somebody. So, like, butter yellow was like the theme.
Right.
And so all the outfits are amazing, but one of them specifically looked like a stick of butter, and kind of like Marge Simpson. Mm-hmm. So I said Marge Simpson, and he said, "You mean Margarine Simpson?" And I
he ate that.
That was my favorite comment.
Absolutely ate that.
And work.
He ate it. No, he ate that. That was a really funny reference. So yeah, that was like, that's special to me. I love that. I love being able to do that. I have another friend too, that actually lives here in Atlanta, and I show him all the messy clips because he loves reality TV. So he loves when the queens are fighting. So I love that too.
It's Untucked.
That was a good time. But aside from that, he actually, this straight friend of ours, he gave me a present, and I haven't received an action figure, I think, since I was a child. Ooh. And it was so sweet, and it was so thoughtful. And if you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, where is it? Where'd you put it?
Oh, it's behind you on the shelf, sorry.
Oh, okay.
He's hiding behind the plant.
Yes, he is. So he got me randomly. I know he explained it to me, but I was just so happy that he gave it to me that I completely forgot where he found it. But he got me a Halloween 20 Michael Myers action figure.
It's very cute. I mean, scary.
It's so cute.
It's scary. But it's very cute.
It's so cute. And for those who don't know the lore of Halloween 20, that was like when they introduced a CGI mask at the time. It was like 1998, and CGI was fairly new, and it looked...
What a terrible mask.
It looked so bad. And like, I love it. Like, I love it. It was so sweet. It was so nice. Oh, it was so nice. So yeah, that was very, very sweet. And that will be part of our ensemble.
Nope.
Ensemble? Ensemble.
That just means like your outfit.
Yeah, like the outfit of the podcast room. Girl, just go with it. You don't have to correct everything.
Oh, I've been holding in. There's been a couple words you already today.
Anyway, we had a lovely and beautiful time. Anything you want to add on to our weekend?
No, we went to Activate.
We did.
Which was fun. We've done that in Charlotte. So for those who don't know, Activate's like, you go in, you have a band, and there's like, I don't know, like 12 to 15 rooms. Mm-hmm. And it's all like sensor based. So there's like, the floor has sensors for some of them. The walls have sensors. There's lasers in some. And essentially you go in and you can play different levels or different, and in each room there's different variations of games. So I would say altogether, even with the, 12 rooms, you probably have a variation of like 4 to 5 games in each room. So, someone do the math on how many choices you have. And then within each game, there's different levels. So you could be there all day, every day, and it saves every time. So like from our Charlotte time, it saved so that we were bumped up a level.
Well,
But
yes.
it was a lot of fun. But a lot of fun. But the best thing about going to these places is always Kelvin's competitiveness.
I thought you were gonna say my sweat.
Well, that too, and like the way, and this is because he sweats. But we were getting ready, and our friend who was visiting was like, "Oh wow, activewear." I'm like, "Oh, I thought he's like." I thought it was just like a,
Like a fun room or whatever.
like
Yeah.
an escape room
Yes.
maybe or whatever. And then Kelvin pulls out a bandana as a tie around his head.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, like, okay. So he changes, and then we go, and then we're there, and obviously it's a Saturday, and we're surrounded by what?
Children, yeah.
And even though it is an adult place, like, it's like kids for like 10 and up, basically, as long as you can be active. The nice thing is that each room, like, you're only playing with your party. When you're playing the room, you don't have to share the room with someone else.
Yes.
They would just have to wait before you're done to use the room. And so being around kids and Kelvin's so competitive is just, I think I've filtered most of it out at this point when we go to that stuff, that it's not until we're around someone who hasn't been around Kelvin like that in a while.
You get refreshed.
Where they react to how serious Kelvin takes it. Because it was when we finished the first room, Kelvin like jogged out of the room like to the next room, like super excited, like, oh, where should we go? Like he already knew where we were going.
Because you guys are slow.
And our friend was like, oh, we could do this. Oh, we're following Kelvin. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, we'll do that.
yes.
And Kelvin was very like, okay, we're doing this, then we're going to do that, and it was just, it's funny watching that, and then a 10-year-old doing the same
thing.
thing.
Listen, we are timed. It's 60 minutes, and I want to make the most of our fun.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the problem.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a perfect time to talk about other updates that's going on in our lives.
This is a yapping. We're just, if you hung in this long, I know it's a conversational episode.
We're just catching people
We're
up,
on
honestly.
vacation this weekend. It's a morning.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't pressure me.
Yeah.
Don't comment below.
No existential crisis topics.
No topic today. I can't. I'm emotioned out. I just wanted to relax this weekend, and the rain gave me that permission. It gave me that permission to be home 80 to 90% of this weekend.
Your favorite.
My absolute favorite thing in the world.
You know what's not my favorite thing in the world?
What?
Panel interviews.
Damn, that was another segue. There it goes.
That was a transition, honey. And that was something that happened to me this past week.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, I applied to this job back in March. And I spent money to apply for this job.
It happens.
Because I had to print paperwork, like very serious paperwork. Basically sign my life away.
I would say this is the most serious job you've applied to ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like serious big boy job.
Yeah.
I guess the DMV is kind of serious, but yeah. But this is your first like serious big boy job. So this is like your first serious like interview. And we do have news for after. Maybe not this episode, but hopefully soon we'll have some news about that.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, it was interesting watching how stressed you were getting about it, because I've never had a panel interview, but I have an understanding about them, and I've been on some loosely.
Right.
So it's just always a weird experience.
I definitely undermined it, if that's the correct usage of that word. I have had panel interviews before, but they were for fun jobs, like fun, underestimate. That's the yes. Thank you. Undermine. I think it's in the same family. So anyway, it doesn't matter.
Please do a jump cut of all the times Kelvin messes up words.
Nobody has time for that. You don't have to do that. But I have done panel interviews before. Like, I can command a room when it comes to something serious. I can talk to multiple people in an interview when it's like a fun job, when it's like you need me to be creative, or you need me to do social media, or you need me to be on radio. Like, I can do all those things. That's fine. Because you're just hiring me on my personality and my social media usage. This is the county job. This is a county job, and it's serious, and the work that I would do if I get this position is public service.
Yeah, it makes an impact on the community.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm also really excited about that. But not to get too much of the job because we don't know. We don't want to share too much yet.
Well,
Don't count
yeah.
your chickens before they hatch
Well,
and stuff.
yes.
Uh, it is like it's a job where your personality isn't enough for an interview.
No.
And Kelvin,
No, it was like 10%.
the night before, Kelvin asked me, like he kind of asked randomly earlier in the day, and me thinking like, Kelvin knows how to interview, right? Kelvin's not like that's been his career. Is like he's so charming and his personality is so great that it that. But I didn't realize that radio. That's what it is. Like yes, you need skills obviously in radio. It's not just personality, but you're selling yourself. So if they can sell you as part of a show or the head of a show or whatever, then that is so much of the battle. Because if you even if you have all the skills, if you know personality, it's not going to work in radio, right? Because you need to be able to get listeners.
Right. And some people rely on personality and don't have good work ethic. But that's not the point of the story.
Listen back to the last episode to see who Kelvin's talking about.
Mm-hmm. And so with that, I had asked Oscar, hey, please just like freshen me up, and just ask me some serious questions. Let's do a mock interview in the kitchen. And it was right after we recorded last week's episode. So it was like, and for some reason we have this habit of like doing them at like 9:00. And that's it. It's time for bed afterwards.
I honestly didn't take you seriously about the interview stuff until you said, hey, let's sit down and do this. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I really thought you were just like, shitting with me. Like that, oh, yeah, ask me interview questions, whatever. I thought you were doing a bit or something.
I just wanted to be refreshed.
Yes. But then as...
we got into the nitty-gritty.
By nitty-gritty, he means the first question. I came to realize that my husband, however charming and wonderful and amazing he is,
well, yes,
is a bit of a storyteller.
Well, yes.
Where does that work?
On Los Yappers.
On Los Yappers. In person.
Clock it.
At a club.
Social settings.
In an airport. Great.
Clock it.
We've skipped lines. We've gotten things from his charm.
Clock it.
Where it's not working is when you have a panel interview of 5 people. Usually 2 to 3 of them are forced to be there, so they don't really want to be there. And they're taking notes. And the questions are around public service, so they can lead more literature. So you need to have concise, right? After the first question, we realized very quickly that Kelbin does not know how to answer a question without a story attached to it. Because in his defense, radio was such a big part of that, where you had to
entertain
stories. Even though, yes, maybe in a shorter, because sometimes, you have 15 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. But it's all entertaining.
Right.
It's not, you're not just focused on the information you're trying to say. So a question that could have been answered in, maybe 2-3 sentences, Kelbin made it about a paragraph or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I like when it comes to answering things, I want to make sure that you believe me. And I often think that people don't believe me for some odd reason. I think my parents instilled that in me. And I come up with your backstory and where it originated. And then there's my response for the question. And as we were going through these questions that were extremely helpful because I Googled. And it was a long night. It was a pretty long night. It was rough. Let's just say that. I really was going to rely on my storytelling. Because I figured that with this job, they're going to ask me about my community service and what I've done and how instrumental I was in, initiating and doing all these campaigns and all these things. So I was ready to give them receipts, but that's nope.
Because what I've learned a lot, and what we talked about that night in the sense of like the good stuff, was that when you're like my advice, and what's funny enough is that after this, I was just having conversations with my mom about that night where we were practicing your interview, and she actually got something out of the advice I was saying too, because my mom, like you, has a similar problem where she thinks she needs to tell the story because it adds value to what you're saying, assuming people need the story to understand the context.
Right.
Which in reality, being on the other side of it, mind you, I used to be like that too. And I can be like that when it comes to non-important stuff. Like when I'm on here, like I can run off on a tangent. Because then I say, you know, or Kelvin's crutch words were firstly, secondly, and also as. But I do that as well. I do that as well when I'm on here, but I've learned in like a work setting or when you're trying to give a
Presentation.
speech or presentation or even an interview like that, what you really need to do is, you know, if I ask you the question, from the top of your head, tell me how you want to answer, right? Which is what we were doing. So, you know, you would tell me the novel answer. Right. However great and entertaining, we don't have this much time, right? Especially in a panel. All their times are very important, so I'm sure they only carved out a certain amount of time in their day.
Yeah.
So if they can't even get to all their questions, that would also be a huge red flag for them.
Right.
Because they need someone who can do things concisely, right? But my advice is that you say how you want to say it, then think back, and find the 2 or 3 things that you're trying to say. You know, my first point is this, my second point is this, my third point is this. Now, can I say that in 3 or sentences or less? And the answer 99% of the time is yes.
Yeah.
We just think people already want to know more. But the thing about an interview, if you're a good interviewer, your job is to ask if you need an example of something. Right? Because one thing is saying, are you comfortable, if the first question is, you know, are you comfortable with meeting a deadline? All I'm looking for as an interview is a yes or no really response for the most part. Then I say, if you just tell me, oh, yes, I'm very comfortable meeting a deadline, and I care enough to ask a follow-up question, that's your time for a story.
Right.
So then I say, oh, do you have a time where, you know, you had to meet a really tight deadline, and could you tell me about it? Because not every question requires a story. Sometimes I just need a yes or no, like, are you comfortable with holding people accountable? Yes. I don't need a story because if you said yes, you definitely did it more than one time in your life.
Right. I had similar questions like that in the interview too. They were like, "Are you okay with working possible holidays or some events that are on the weekends?" And I was like, "Yes." And I thanks to our training or our practice, I was like, "Yes, I've worked in you know, the parade and the, you know, on the weekend, you know, March for Our Lives, and I would have probably done that."
Yeah.
And would have sounded weak, or not weak, but it would have been a weak answer, giving examples, because I would have been rambling in my head thinking about what the stories were.
Because the moment you start trying to grasp for stories, it looks like you're making something up to convince me that you just told me the truth.
Right.
Because I'm going to believe whatever answer you give me, right?
Right.
But when it looks like you're fishing for something in your brain, then it tells me it's hard for you to find an example, or it's not a true story.
Right.
If you feel the need to blurt it out. Because that's what it is. I'm going to, as an interviewer, especially on a panel, you have to be really careful with not making people's eyes gloss over. Because if they don't care, it'll be super obvious. Because that's usually what it is. The 2 or 3 people that are kind of forced to be there because they're either going to interact with your job or do something with your job, they're just there.
Right.
So you might as well not really pay attention in a sense of like what their attitude is, because that's hard. Because a lot of people don't pay attention to their resting bitch face. That happens on calls all the time. Like if I'm doing a presentation on Zoom or whatever, I stare at the camera lens. My eyes don't start wandering around to like to
see the reactions. What. Yeah.
Because I'm sure I have a bad resting face too when I'm watching a presentation, even if I'm interested in it.
Right.
And it's the same thing with that. Like when you're trying to do a presentation to that, just try to follow those rules. Like that's my advice for anyone. And I don't know why I never really thought of saying it out loud before, because that's what I've always done when it came to that, especially in the my career now, is that I have to be able to get information out there, and then leave space to, okay, if you have questions or you need some examples, I can send some out. But right now, I'm not going to sit here and open my example and walk you through this picture and this photo, because then that's not what I need you to care about. I need you to care that this marketing thing is executing this day. It's this time. This is what you need to do for it. I will send out examples later, but at least get started on the operational part of it, because that's what I'm trying to communicate. So it's really that.
Date you a corporate man.
Crazy.
Because honestly, you polished my answers. I was feeling more ready than if I went, raw, dogging it. You know what I mean? I felt protected going into that interview. I really didn't feel nervous, honestly, at all until the first question. And the first question was, give us an idea of what you think this job is.
Ooh.
And that was the only question that we did not
Yeah.
practice. And I didn't answer it as strong as I could have.
Oh yes. So that. Well, go ahead, and then I'll.
It's basically that. I mean, that made my body so hot. I was in a blazer, like it was that serious. I was in a blazer, a
Well, I
button
mean,
up.
you were looking hot in that suit.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was just, and my pimple was still recovering, so it was like yes, I was feeling good. I still haven't had a haircut. I don't know, it was a lot, but the point is that was that first question, and it's not that I bombed it, but it was not a strong answer. And so the questions after that were the ones that we prepared
Yeah.
for, but I still don't think it was a strong interview. I think certain ones I was really rambly. What I was really proud about that morning before the interview though was I wanted to know how to answer a question, or I typed in interview tips on TikTok, and somebody was talking about the STAR method, which is if somebody asks you a behavioral question,
Mm-hmm.
like name us a time there was a problem and how did you solve it? In my mind, I was like, well, there's only been a few problems that have happened when I was on air,
Yeah.
but let me think about how I can formulate it. And so I did the STAR method, which was situation, task, action, and the result.
Mm-hmm.
And I practiced it in your mom's house when you guys all went for Leilani's award ceremony,
Yes.
and I was just alone in the house and I was practicing, and I was so proud that like I'm so glad I got to learn that STAR method that morning, that same morning, and I was able to answer. That was a question that I was really confident about during that interview. But yeah, it was really nerve-wracking. I ended the interview with I like asked them the questions because they always ask you like, do you have any questions for us? You always should ask questions at the
Mm-hmm.
end. And I asked that, and I asked my two questions, and then I ended it with, hey, I know that I came off very nervous with this, but I just want to let you guys know I haven't had many serious interviews. This is probably one of the most serious interviews I've ever had, but I'm so appreciative of your time, and I want you to know that I know that this job is serious and it takes a lot of heart, and I can do this job.
Yeah.
And I finally got a smile after the 1 hour interview from five people that were there, managers, like really higher ups out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I finally got the one smile. And I was like, all right, well,
We'll see.
that was my best, girl. We go back home. Your family's all there. Your mom is so excited for me. And like, listen, I'm grateful that I have a mother in law that loves me the way that she loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, I'm not getting it anywhere else. So, was that too dark? I just meant like it's. I'm so grateful to have that kind of love and that kind of
Yeah, that's
that
what you
support.
meant.
No, it is, and it did make me a little nervous though, and it did make me a little not uncomfortable, but I think it put pressure on me, which was really coming from me. It wasn't really coming from anybody else. But your mom being so hopeful and like giving me the prayers and like doing all this, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's a lot of pressure because what if I don't get it? So yeah, I wasn't feeling too good after I came back.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think you're hard on yourself. Everyone's hard on themselves, and that's it with interviews. I mean, you
Yeah.
just got to do it and then walk away and say you did that. I
Yeah.
did that.
I did
Because
do
I
that.
think I've seen more often where people think they kill an interview
Mm-hmm.
and don't get it,
Yeah, that's happened to me.
and then that where like it's not like you bombed, but you had your moments where you had opportunity, and you had your moments where you did good, and that's really how like especially interviews in the corporate world and interviews in that like even my interview that I know went really well when I got this job.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a question or two that I could have had a stronger answer. I thought back, like, dang, I forgot that story. I forgot this thing.
Right.
Or when I, submitted my presentation deck because I had to do that for my job.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot like a project that I really was proud of from my previous job and things like that. And you just gotta walk away and be like, well, whatever's meant to happen is meant to happen. Either I get this job or I don't get this job, and that's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all she wrote, girl. That is all she wrote. We're going to have an update hopefully rather soon. They said they would get back to me as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you know the way the government works.
Well, Slow as hell,
Slow
girl.
and steady. So
I applied for that in March.
we shan't hold our breath.
It's almost June.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No, that's normal for government jobs.
Got it.
Well, it's also normal for like higher positions, like more important, more responsibility positions. Because like my job had been posted, I think for like 2 months at that point, and then I applied, and it was still like another almost 2 months before I got reached out to by a recruiter.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, it depends the budget, how quickly they're trying to fill the position, like what is their need for the position right now, with things that are going on, but who knows?
Life is happening so fast. Like I had nothing for months, and now like I have dodgeball coming up. So that's going to bring new characters into this new season of life.
I can't wait to report back to Yap Nation about you and dodgeball.
I'm going to twist my ankle. I have weak ankles.
But you're also strong that I think you're going to accidentally hurt someone. You're going to throw a ball so hard that it's going to like...
It's going to hit a face, and then I'm going to get disqualified. Because that's a rule. You're not supposed to hit people's faces. I don't have aim.
Yes, which is the problem. So maybe if you aim for their face, it'll hit another part of their body.
Girl. This, and then if I get this job full-time...
Yeah, this will be a full-time Iana, so...
Full-time as hell. And then gym?
Welcome to...
People go to the... I'm going to be one of those people that go to the gym at like 6 a.m.
Or like 7 p.m., yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, listen, we have yapped for a really long time. We were going to add one more thing, but I think we're just going to save it for the next episode, yeah?
It is some little drama. Someone, I guess a little sneak peek is...
Yes.
Someone message up a real messy situation.
A juicy situation, girl.
A juicy, messy, long situation.
Yes.
Which could take up a good chunk of time.
That is true.
We'd hate to, after listening to us just kind of yap.
Yeah.
If you've held on this long, I know this isn't the world's most exciting episode.
To me, it was.
Trust, girl. I mean, yeah, it was about you. It was about you.
Well, yes. Well, yes.
Right. Kelbin's his own best friend saying exactly. But it has been just a long episode of just talking about whatever we want.
Yeah.
We can, because it's our show and it's not yours, even though we love you. Sorry about it.
That was rough.
Tough love. We got tough love here in Yap Nation. This is not a dictatorship, but I'm going to do what I want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you do have human rights, unlike certain countries right now.
Well,
go register to vote.
Since you have rights right now, and you're listening to this, make sure to rate us on Apple Music, Spotify.
You know what's
please.
Right? Is going to Apple Music.
Please continue to give us more reviews. We are so grateful for them. I love reading them because they're about us, and we appreciate you guys every time you send us DMs or commenting on old episodes, which I love. Right. So thank you, Yap Nation. Thank you to that one YAGGOT out there as well. I love constructive criticism, so keep it going.
Girl, he wouldn't know constructive criticism if it fit him in the book. I love you, and there's still a ceasefire. But Yap Nation, don't forget to follow us on social.
Yes.
On TikTok, on Instagram, at Los Yappers Podcast. And you can follow me at Oscar_CORD.
And you can follow me, your absolute favorite host, at Kelbin Live.
And if you need more advice, don't forget to also message us. Maybe it's interview advice. Maybe it's career advice. Apparently, I have a thought or two that might be helpful.
Well, yes.
And so, Yap Nation, remember today, always, and forever. Are they enough?
They've been enough.
Well, you heard it here first. You are enough.
Mwah.